Hi everybody, I'm Sharon Fradkin and I am your host at Get Fresh, the cooking show for Stoughton. And today, Carlos Vargas, who's with us always and we hope forever. And our guest chef today, and we have a special show today because we're having two guest chefs. So this is Pat Yanikowski. Pat lives in Stoughton for how many years?
33 years
33
now.
years. So not quite a carpetbagger, or we don't know. Because you know the way that people are.
Yes.
And you have a business, you train people. You go into their homes and do personal training.
I'm a certified personal trainer.
Yeah.
My business is called Train Her.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right. I go into people's homes to train them.
So do you make them biscotti?
No. Yeah, this is kind of anathema to, but you have to enjoy yourself sometimes.
You do. So we were talking, I said to Pat, we were doing something, and I said, do you make anything special? I'd like to have some local people on the show. And Pat said, well, I do biscotti. I'm pretty well known for it. So I said, great. And then I thought, people are always requesting we do some more Jewish recipes and recipes from Eastern Europe. So I know Mandel bread, it's sort of like biscotti. So I thought I invited Carole Cohen, and she'll be on next to do Mandel bread. And we're going to kind of take a quick look at how the recipes are simple and different and how the finished product is simple and different. So Pat, what do we do first?
We put 1 stick of butter.
So that's softened.
Yes.
So how long does it have to sit out to soften?
Oh, you know what, Sharon? It depends on your
Kitchen?
Yes. I mean, we know.
In this weather, 10 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I put it outside to begin with. So this is a whole stick of butter. Now, keep in mind, folks, that this is an Americanized version of biscotti. It contains quite a bit of fat. This is not the Italian version where unless you dunk, you might break your teeth.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Thank you.
Yeah, the biscotti is usually very hard. And you do
Yes,
need to
because
dip it
there's
in
very
coffee or
little
tea.
fat in it.
Right.
But this is almost like a chocolate chip cookie version.
Which makes it kind of more like Mandel bread in the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what else?
3/4 of a cup of sugar. Thank you, Carlos. And then we cream that.
So you cream it together. Butter and sugar always are the creaming, but you have to cream them.
Yep.
And we're so lucky Pam has a great mix master.
Yes. Thank you, Pam Carr. And while that's creaming, Carlos will measure out the dry ingredients. That's 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I use King Arthur, which is not bleached, and it's very high quality.
That's important. So how do you measure? Show us, Carlos. You push it with the side of a knife or a spoon so that it's flat. You don't measure flour piled up or tamped down.
No, it's gotta be loose, right?
2 cups? 2 cups.
Right? Oh.
2 cups.
Uh-oh. Messed up already.
No.
And the butter can cream for a while. That's not much of an issue. Right, you can stop it.
And then
Good.
I'm having Carlos put the dry ingredients in this
All together, which makes more sense.
This handy thing that I purchased, which allows you to pour the dry ingredients into the KitchenAid.
So you're putting in baking powder?
Baking powder?
1.5 teaspoons of baking powder.
And you'll be able to get the recipe online because this whole recipe will be online. And and salt. And there's no salt.
Yes, there is.
Oh, there
a
is
1/4 teaspoon of salt.
1/4 teaspoon of salt. And baking powder gets measured the same way, smoothed out, flattened. The can allows you to do that.
We have to be precise when we're baking.
Baking is very
precise.
different than cooking. Cooking, you can kind of take a lot of liberties. Baking, no liberties,
so much.
really. Nope, not so much.
Why I don't cook?
I don't bake either, honestly. I might make a couple things, but it's too precise.
So we're here.
Okay, so
And-
everything sticks.
Right, so we're mixing and aerating a little with the whisk.
Because a lot of times you sift flour, and here we're not sifting. But by aerating it, it's almost like sifting.
All right, before that goes in, we're going to add the eggs.
Crack the eggs in here.
And this is kind of a nifty silicone
Yeah, nice and soft.
little
Eggs don't
bowl.
break.
It's very handy. And
She's got good tools. And that goes into the cream with the butter?
yeah, we can Yep, we can whisk those a little,
Yeah.
and then they go in. Thank you, Carlos.
Pleasure.
Can you beat it higher now?
Yes, yeah.
Always turn up the mix master once you add the eggs to get a little
Let's
frothy.
measure out the vanilla also. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to scrape a little.
Scraping's important because it ends up the sides and you don't get
Yes.
everything blended appropriately.
Absolutely.
And you're using a dough hook, right? Or something?
No,
a little
this
different?
is just, I think this is just called a paddle attachment.
Uh-huh, okay. So not as whiskey and high as the regular beater.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That really aerates things.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put
So
the.
we got some vanilla, tablespoon, teaspoon.
That looks good.
Okay.
And we want to make sure that the butter and the eggs are at room temperature.
Okay.
Well,
Because if not, I would see a curdled mess in here. Okay,
And now we're gonna add the flour slowly because it puffs up in your face if you're not careful.
and you've got a nifty little flower, right?
Yeah.
With a little lip.
it's a pouring tool and it has, yeah, it has the lip, so. No
Oh, it
mess.
holds onto the side.
Yes.
That's adorable.
I love it.
That's going in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going in.
Thank
The
you.
flour can be a big mix. When I add flour, I do it the old school way, on a piece of, like
Oh,
parchment
that's
paper,
good too.
bend it,
Oh,
rip it
yeah.
in.
That's good too.
And this
All right.
we have to get off the sides too.
Yes. I just want a little more of the flour to go
I'm
in.
surprised it isn't higher. You're not beating it higher. So it's a
It's
kind of
just
heavy
not-
batter?
It's just not necessary, yeah. It's more like a cookie dough.
I see.
Than a batter,
Right.
but,
I mean, biscotti can be a lot of flavors. It can be almond flavored.
oh, yes.
We're doing chocolate walnut.
Oh,
It can
yes.
be, I don't know, I've seen, with fruit in it, dried fruit, and Mandel bread particularly, sometimes we'll have cherries, raisins, things like that.
Yes, and actually, because this is more like a cookie, you don't want to beat it a lot. You don't want a lot of gluten
Mm-hmm.
formation.
Okay?
So now we're going to add
Chop some
some
nuts.
chopped walnuts. Now, I did toast these ahead of time.
So that's what,
Some
lay it
people
on
don't.
or did you do it in a fry pan?
I did it in a saute pan, but you can do it in an oven. You have to
So
watch them
Carlos,
carefully.
I've got this great tool if you want for chopping.
I've never used it.
Carol brought that.
Oh, I have one of those, yeah.
Just run it over.
Roll it over or
Or
bang
bang
it.
it.
Or bang
Yeah, I
it.
was going to use my knife.
Yeah, we often will take a big, big paring knife or a big chef knife.
That's 1 cup.
And speaking of flavors, another of my favorite biscotti flavors is orange and almond.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Now,
Orange
just-
is a great flavor.
Just be aware that if you add fruits, even dried fruits, they still have moisture. So if
Right.
you're going to do a cranberry pistachio at Christmas time, for example, the biscotti might not be as crisp after a
Okay.
day or two.
So that goes
Throw
right
this
in?
in?
Yes, please.
You want to get done in time.
And then,
Move along.
and then we'll add the mini morsels, which are in that small
And those are just
container.
what you find in the supermarket.
Yes,
nothing special.
you can add chopped chocolate.
Yeah,
You
that's the
can-
baker's chocolate, the
You
cocoa.
you can also add,
much?
yeah, about 2/3,
About 2
please. You can also add the larger chips,
Yeah,
but I like the smaller ones because when you cut the biscotti,
right. It's the
they
same
don't
design.
interfere
Right.
as much.
Okay. It's really fairly simple.
Yeah.
Put everything in a
Very.
mixer, and
Very.
we're going to form a loaf.
We're going to form 2 loaves.
Two
actually.
loaves,
Two loaves.
okay?
Yep. So, let me get this off.
Because this takes a while to bake, and so will the Mandel bread, what we've done is I've asked both of the women to
Oh, sorry.
bake a loaf before so they can pull it out and we can cut it and
Okay,
show
so
you.
Carlos
Because that's
will-
part of the look is how it's cut. Now, whoa, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah,
I'll just pull that off.
yeah, please.
Ah, that doesn't
I think
come
you just
out.
go up, no, no.
Oh, you have to turn it. Sorry.
No
Not
worries.
mechanical, apparently.
So,
Okay, and
you
here's, we
scrape
have
the
a
beater.
cookie sheet with a piece of parchment paper on it.
I don't know how I ever lived without parchment.
Parchment paper is wonderful. I use it to cook fish on, I
It
use it to
doesn't
cook.
burn, right? It's
Nope, it
perfect.
doesn't burn, and it's not aluminum foil, which now is supposedly
Okay,
poisonous.
so I'm sort of roughly dividing the dough in half. Can I have the flour, please, Carlos? Thank you. So I'm just gonna flour my hands a little.
Okay, so that means it doesn't stick. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm gonna,
okay.
this takes a little practice, but I just sort of try to
Carlos, you
form
want to
it.
do the other one at the
Sure.
same time? 'Cause
Absolutely.
Into
we'll
a-
run out of time.
Yeah, into a,
To a
Loaf.
long flat loaf?
I don't know, well, I guess it's flat, but put it on the sheet.
Sort of like a long thin meatloaf.
Yeah, making 2 or even 3 is easier than,
Well, it cooks quicker,
yeah.
more quickly.
Yeah, move it over a little bit.
Give it a little room. They don't spread that much, do they?
Well, this one spreads a bit because
Okay.
it has some butter in it.
Okay, people, so see what we're doing? We've got the 2 loaves in there, and they go into 325
Yes.
degrees for how long?
About 25 minutes. I always check midway
Okay, 25 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, that's,
and turn the baking sheet around.
So midway, turn it around, so.
Yes.
12 minutes,
Yes.
turn it around.
so I don't know, I've never done this.
So,
Cook time, how much,
12 minutes?
whoops, 109 minutes?
So we know that at 1:21, we need to turn it halfway, so I'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you.
You will?
Okay, so here's the one that Pam made ahead, and we
Thank
put
you.
it on a lovely plate.
Well, actually, I need the cutting board.
Oh, you need the cutting board, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So once the biscotti loaves come out of the oven, you let them cool on a cooling rack for a little while, like 10 to 15 minutes. And then you cut them on a diagonal.
So it's angled, you've seen biscotti, everybody's probably seen it,
It
but you
depends
see
on-
the look of it.
Yeah, it depends on the size you want. If you want longer biscotti, then cut them at more of an
Now,
angle.
where's your bowl that had the other ones in it? You may want to show that now. Carlos, grab that
Sure.
container. Yeah, okay.
And then they have to be baked again.
So once they're cut,
Once they're cut, they
how
have
long?
About 9 minutes aside.
And you lay them down, or?
Yes.
Ah.
I lay them flat on
So
the cookie sheet.
they go on the cookie sheet and they go down so
Mm-hmm.
that the sides get crispy.
Right.
And those are some that are done, and she swirled chocolate
Right,
on
and-
some.
And you swirl the chocolate before they cool, right? So that chocolate does its goodness, spreads out a little bit?
No, actually, you have to cool them
Oh, you
first,
do?
Carlos, because
Okay.
otherwise the chocolate might not dry. In fact,
Gotcha.
in this weather, I actually put them in the
So you can
refrigerator.
almost-
Oh,
put
did you
these
really?
on
After I
Did you
drizzle.
drizzle them?
Yep, so I just chop or break up some Ghirardelli
Right,
So
chocolate.
this is
right here.
laid there,
Cacao.
and they would be more baked,
Right.
which we will throw back in, obviously.
And here are the ones
And yeah,
drizzled
put them right
with-
on top, some that would have some chocolate drizzle.
Yeah, and I would break up some of that, put it in the microwave, put it in a tiny
Ziploc
Ziploc
bag,
bag,
right?
cut a little tip off and
Terrific.
drizzle like a professional almost.
Pat, thank
Wonderful
you
idea.
so much for coming. I'm gonna call
My
you back at the
pleasure.
end and we'll take a picture with all of the stuff.
Okay.
And now we want to bring on Carol so that she can show us Mandel bread, and there's a little bit of difference in it, even though there's some similarity. So thanks so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
be right back. Hi, everybody. So we're back with you for the second half of our Biscotti Mandel Bread show. And this is Carole Cohen. You may know her husband, Roy, who hosts Community Forum. She's an old friend of mine, and she's been in town, and she is well known as a great baker and a great cook. But she really bakes, and a lot of people don't bake. And her stuff, they're coming for miles for her stuff. So Mandel bread is kind of the Jewish version of biscotti. And you'll see how similar it is. And what's really interesting is that so many cultures share basically the same foods.
Right.
So Carol, how long have you been making Mandel bread?
I've probably been making it for like 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've used the same recipe, and I've never changed it.
Right.
And it comes out
That's a
great every
perfection,
time.
yeah.
I get calls for requests from my grandchildren and kids.
Oh, they do.
So
They'll call up and
this
say,
is-
hi, can you make me a blueberry
Yes.
cake, whatever. Okay, so Carlos, what goes
Eggs,
first?
right? 3 eggs?
Yeah, we beat,
3 eggs.
We have 3
we put
eggs.
3 eggs, unlike
Room temperature
Pam.
eggs.
Yeah, Pat used 2
Yeah,
eggs.
no, I use 3, but I don't use a mix master. I use a wire
She
whisk.
uses, what do they call it? Elbow grease?
Yeah,
Couple
just,
grease.
I'm
You
gonna
do that?
beat these up.
Is there a double yolk in there?
No, I don't think so.
So just wire whisk the eggs. And what Carlos has done is put some Crisco, a piece of a Crisco stick in a fry pan, in a saucepan, sorry.
Next process, I add the sugar.
And,
Sugar.
excuse me, I just want to explain, this is gonna melt, so it
Right.
becomes liquid, and then we'll add it to the
Yes.
ingredients, right?
Yes,
How long will it take, do you think, to melt?
just a couple of minutes. It should.
Okay, and it's up on high, because it should be high.
I don't know, what did you put it on?
I put it on high now.
Okay.
So I'm
No.
gonna put the sugar in next.
Okay, so how much?
There's a cup of sugar.
It's already pre-measured. So
Right.
sugar and eggs, same as what we were talking about when Pat was doing hers in the mixer. Carol's just kind of creaming it on her own. Now, if you don't see her upper arm, she doesn't have hanging fat, she has muscles.
Stop.
I have hanging fat.
Okay, next step, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay, so that's right here. And here's your teaspoon, kiddo.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
I'll need that much for the baking powder.
Sure.
And meanwhile, we just have to watch that mixing and make sure it's
Yep.
okay.
Just
Now,
about
that's
melted.
one of the differences in the recipe. This uses Crisco, Pat's recipe used butter. And the reason for that is Crisco is a non-dairy product. It's basically hardened vegetable oil. So it means that Jewish people traditionally can eat this with a meat meal, with a dairy meal as a dessert and not run into trouble. So it's what we call parov, which is okay for anything, kinda. Okay.
Almost done.
Almost done. Do we
Okay.
need the baking powder yet? Oh,
No,
yet.
that comes in after we
Okay.
put the flour. And believe it or
Just
not,
about
we're
there.
almost done.
We're
there.
Yeah. Almost there with that.
So, and cinnamon and sugar, this is a little different at the end.
And we're there.
Yep.
Okay,
Slowly.
Okay, nope, just pour it
Pour
in.
it in. So it
Yeah.
just becomes totally liquid. It's back to vegetable oil. Why couldn't you use vegetable oil, do you think?
There's a difference in
Okay.
Crisco and vegetable
Crisco's an
oil.
old-fashioned,
Used it
Crisco's
for
from
pies.
40,
They
50
still-
years ago.
I
Yeah.
think they still use it for pie crust.
But I think people
They do.
look at Crisco now as, I'd never eat that. That's like fat. and I'm not
Okay.
eating it." Okay.
Okay, so next step, we're gonna add the flour, which is
flour.
already measured out.
How much?
Okay.
2 cups of
2
flour.
cups of flour. Any brand?
I use gold medal,
Okay.
so
Whoops.
here we go.
You can poof it, and now we, okay.
Okay, and 2
Should be doing
teaspoons
2 teaspoons.
of baking powder.
And again, dried ingredients tend to go in at the same time. I can hold that for you too. I mean, these are pretty easy to make, and they're crowd pleasers. Everybody
Then we
really
mix.
likes it. It's not a heavy frosted dessert. It's not ultra sweet.
I'm gonna start chopping up the
Right.
walnuts.
Yes, because the next step, I'm gonna add the chocolate chips.
So
And
we
the
just
Carlos is
mix
chopping
it.
walnuts.
And they don't have to be,
Perfect.
baked or anything. Perfect.
No.
Thank you.
They don't-
Because Pat, she roasted her walnuts
Right.
first.
Okay.
So how are you gonna do it this time?
I'm gonna do
The
it
knife
this time.
way? So
Absolutely.
this is Carlos's favorite way to chop. I use a glass. I use a heavy glass and I just
Just a little
roll it around.
flour.
Oh, perfect, perfect. I'm gonna grab Pat's biscotti out of
Sure,
the oven.
yeah. Is that enough, Carol?
Oh,
Is that good size or
I think it
smaller?
could
looks
stay a little
perfect.
longer.
You don't have to have, I need a little more flour though.
Probably just another minute or two.
yeah,
Some more
I
I
flour.
could get some flour,
It's a little
yeah.
Sure.
bit too white.
Borrow some flour.
Borrow
from
some
Pat.
flour.
Because
We
you
could-
remember in
we
both
get
of
some
these
flour.
recipes,
I don't know
what's
why.
Can you borrow
similar
some flour?
is that you bake it, you take it out, then you cut it in that angle, and then you do something to it, like Pat drizzled some chocolate on it. Okay.
I'm gonna add a little bit more flour.
Okay,
Okay, you wanna shake some in here? 'Cause it
Sure.
seems-
good to have two cooks here.
Yep. Okay,
So you
we'll
just
make
go
that
by the
stick.
texture, huh?
Yeah.
You want it to make
A
a
little
dough.
firm enough
yeah.
to, yeah.
And it's very similar in texture to what Pat made. So people you can see what it looks like. You know, it's, well, like kind of clayish.
Right, yeah. Starting to
Okay.
hold together
And
really
you
well.
need a cookie sheet, which is right there to be greased.
All right, next step.
Yes,
We're gonna add the chocolate chips, and I believe I measured them out, but
How-
How
one
many?
and a half.
1.5.
Yep.
It's about almost,
Almost
I
level.
think it'll be, yep.
yeah.
Whole
Yeah,
thing.
break this up.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, break it up because I had it in the car and it started melting.
You know, that's the trouble with chocolate, it melts
Oh.
very
2 minutes,
quickly.
it was like.
So we put it in the refrigerator and
So, yeah, I
Okay, you
think,
can
we've
add
got
the
some
rest.
lumps in there.
Some clumps, yeah.
Some clumps of chips. There isn't anything bad with clumps of chocolate bits, I can tell you that.
and this is
No,
just melted
that's-
Crisco?
Yeah,
In here,
that's
yep,
to grease the pan.
yep.
Okay, and
All
now we
right,
add
and
this
then
in too, the
add the
nut.
walnuts,
Okay.
and we're good to go. We're just gonna mix it all up.
This is where you need the mussels, because this is a really dense and thick batter now.
We just mix it with the good old wooden spoon.
And you know, in some cases, you know, you can use your hands. And, okay.
Perfect.
All right, can you grease that?
Done.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's a little bit.
Too much?
Yeah, why don't
Would
you,
you like me to wipe some?
yeah, little bit.
Okay, we
All right,
gotta
now
get
you-
this going.
So you've done this once
Okay.
before,
Get it
you
all
know how much
finished.
grease to put in the pan?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just
That
put
looks
that
pretty
amount
good.
in, but it was a
Yeah,
bit much.
yes, all right.
Okay, now,
You wanna use your glove?
yes, I do.
Carol's a glove person.
I,
She doesn't like to touch stuff. Where's the
no,
cutting
it's
board?
just
We have a cutting
that.
board right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Or she's protecting her manicure. One or the other, we
No.
don't know. All right, that looks,
Okay.
Is that done? It looks like it's
Ah,
done.
no.
Smells delicious. Okay. All right, see.
still a tad wet in the middle, so. This oven may not run as hot, some do. So you're making
Okay,
two
so
loaves?
I'm using 2
Here
loaves.
first and then here?
No, 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 we don't need this.
Oh,
right
we don't
now.
need that.
Here, Carlos, you can make the other loaf.
Sure.
Well, I just have to, hold
Sure.
on 1 second, let me just.
You need more.
I turn it this way.
We use our hands here.
Uh-huh,
We use our hands here, because they're always clean.
well,
Just so that we get two. Okay.
sometimes I,
Want to just take this from the spoon or? no?
I'll just add these. This
Okay.
is fine. Okay, so,
Put the other one in. 'Cause we gotta get it in the oven
Yeah.
quickly.
okay, let me just get that.
Yeah,
So you see how it's being formed in a long loaf, very similar to what Pat did.
yeah, they look alike,
Very,
don't
yeah,
they?
they look, I mean, this is using full-size chips, she used mini morsels.
Right.
So little differences,
I'll
and
take
the
a little
Crisco
from
may
this.
change the taste.
Sure.
And add
Okay,
it to
and this goes
one.
in a 350 oven, Pat's was 325.
Yeah, and I sprinkle it now with cinnamon and sugar.
Okay, so that's right here.
And how long do you cook this for? You bake
For
it
do
about
it.
a half hour.
half hour?
Let's get it in.
Yep, okay.
Okay, doesn't have to be perfect.
Who says?
Me, because otherwise you'll be off the air.
Or put that in the
So
oven?
cinnamon and
Yeah.
sugar mixed together on the top.
Perfect.
And it's going in our bottom oven, which is set at 350. Okay, and let's take a look at this up here.
No?
I think those are done.
Yeah, I think so. They felt a
Pull those
little,
up?
they felt a little soft in the middle when I touched them. I think they're still a little soft.
Are they?
I think so, because they need to cut. Okay, so Carol, as well as Pat, had pre-baked a loaf so that we could show what she does with it. So you want,
So,
okay.
I need my knife. So
Here's
next
the
up,
knife.
usually as soon as this comes out of the oven, I'll slice it at an angle
Same as
so
what Pat
that
did
it
at an
doesn't
angle.
get this hard until after it goes back in the oven again.
So maybe we should
Oh.
take these out.
No, don't take the ones
No,
that I
hers
put.
out.
Oh, no, that's okay.
We're juggling. Okay, so you just cut them at an angle. And
Yeah.
then what?
And then I'm gonna turn them over.
So people can see. Over here?
Nope, they're gonna stay in the pan, and what I
Okay.
do is I just take these and turn them over like this.
Right. So you get the side
And then I sprinkle cinnamon sugar
Oh, on the other side.
on these sides.
yeah.
on just one side,
Okay.
okay? And then I pop them
Back
back
in the
in the oven for like 5 minutes.
Okay. So let's take these out now. And these have to be cut as well.
Yeah, that, yep,
Put it in the top oven anyway.
okay.
Okay,
Whoa,
So-
wait.
Just goes back in?
it does just for 5
Okay.
minutes, it'll be fine.
So everyone, we've got Carol's Mandel bread just out of the oven with the cinnamon and sugar. We've got Pat's Biscotti there. And we want to thank Pat and Carol for
Thank
coming
you.
on the show and for sharing their recipe with us. This is yum, right,
It'll look
Carlos?
delicious, absolutely.
Yeah, ooh, mine
Grab a
broke so I
piece.
can eat it. I
Really
can see
good.
why they're calling for it.
Great job.
Excellent,
I'll have to try.
excellent. Thank you so much for
Carol,
joining
thank
us.
you.
Thank you for
Please
having
watch
us.
again.
Yes, our
Our pleasure.
pleasure.
Thank you.